I know it's a little bit late for me to go ahead and get out this review, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who showed up to my birthday livestream this past Monday. It was honestly super hilarious just to see the debates that went on. However, if you have any ideas for any future tier list you would like me to do and livestream that would spark some passionate debates, just let me know in the comments and it might come out sooner than you think. Speaking of coming, Sonoi and Taro in this week's DonBrothers? Boy. The lore is real, and I honestly think that it's transcended the show to a whole nother level. What starts off as a DonBros team meeting quickly turns into a topic derail thanks to Black Kaito. Suggesting figuring out the identity of Inu Brother leads to rampant speculation on who or what he is, possibly even being a dog. Shinichi brings the conversation back to the topic of the Noto, and figuring out what their real threat is. That is when we get Oba-Chan Karen-san complaining over a moist towelette that was too hot. Moist. Haruka tries to solve the issue by offering free coffee, but when that proves pointless, Kaito demonstrates that she should like her coffee black. Back on topic, Taro points out everyone's character flaws. Haruka lacks concentration, Tsuyoshi lacks confidence, and Shinichi is arrogant and full of himself. Not liking this, they ask Taro to give them some sort of praise just to boost their ego. They even line up in anticipation, but Taro can't bring himself to praise them and dies. Sonoi, meanwhile, is trying to grasp the concept of art. However, as the Noto are perfect in every way, the ability to draw imperfection is too much. So much so that he draws an imperfect X. Am I the only one who has a problem with this? That thing should have been a perfect cross intersection at consecutive 90-degree angles. I guess he's not a Noto. The Noto start getting called by animals. Sonoi with a pigeon. Sononi. Finally! I drank that so hard that it started raining outside. Oh yeah, where was I? Oh yes, Sononi finds Nemo. And Sonoza gets a doggo. It's here that we get a massive lore dump. The Noto higher-ups have identified that Don Momotaro is the heir to the Don clan royal family. The Don clan existed in the homeworld known as Ideo, and wish for peaceful coexistence between the Noto and the humans. As such, they were deemed unfit and were completely annihilated. But before that, they had to make Taro a space runaway. Tsubasa has a flashback of Natsumi wanting to be a beautician, all while getting his hair cut right where Miho works at. Bro, what's with this timing? Oba-Chan Karen-san gets chased out of a clothing store and becomes a Hitotsuki that gets down with the samba. The bromance resumes as Sonoi stops a thief, conveniently catching the eye of Taro. They give each other DTF looks and decide to take it upstairs. Though Sonoi notices that not all is well with Taro. As it turns out, his inability to lie has resulted in the rest of the squad boycotting fighting with Taro. Because if he doesn't have his companions, he can appreciate them when they are there. Death flags get raised immediately as Sonoi asks Taro to compare enemies. Taro decides that if they manage to defeat their respective opponents, then they should go out on a date. As Samba de Amigo shows up to ask for everyone's manager, Don Momo shows up to issue out a refund. Speaking of refunds, the DonBro squad cashes in on their refund request and cancels joining into the fray. The refund turns into an exchange as Noto Sonoi swaps over for Karen. The tussle between him and Don Momo leads to them popping up next to each other on the rooftop. With their dinner date ruined, Sonoi has just one last thing to ask Taro. Taro continues to fight with Karen 2 Electric Boogaloo when only Inu Brother shows up to his side, but not before the rest of the Noto show up to rail on Don Momo. Witnessing the massacre, the rest of the squad just can't take it anymore and join the fight. Going into Robo Taro form and then Don Onitaijin, they beat the peaches off of Karensaurus Rex and go back to regular size. That's when it happened. Like Sephiroth coming for Aerith, Sonoi strikes down on Taro. Turns out the last thing that he asked Taro was his weakness. And with Taro's inability to lie, told him exactly what that was. With his HP drained, his hair changes hue and he fades away. Holy motherfucking shit! These assholes actually did the unthinkable and killed off the main character. I need to break the scale. Like, what's higher than S rank? This episode gets the Sononi S+ Thirst Tier, featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series. We finally get some lore dump regarding Taro with the Don clan and his lineage to them. However, we also get another tease with the introduction of the higher up council of the Noto. Though it does beg the question of if Taro is a Noto or if the Don clan were beings even more detached than the Noto. Though another question is if Taro's inability to lie being a trait of his or of his clan as a whole, since one would think the Don clan should have gotten beaten ages ago if you can just exploit their honesty. Which leads to another point. The Noto lived up to their names of being brain people, because they really hit us with that big brain energy in this week's episode. 13 episodes in, and once the revelation of their enemy's identity was revealed, they were able to exploit that weakness. Also, how weird was it that Taro's hair hit a more natural hue after his death? We are 13 for 13 with great episodes, and I really don't want this thing to hit a halt. There's still so many seeds planted, so many character potentials, and still so much time left in this show. Just don't take that Revice split, and make the Don Onitaijin available for pre-order again. Anyway, that's it for me. How do you feel about this week's episode? Are you still enjoying the show as much as I am? How about this lore dump and Taro's demise? Next week, it looks like we get a replacement for Taro. Interesting. Until then, bye.